Shalom, Israel. Want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BASHAM, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders who teach and rule well at Great Millstone. In peace and salutations and peace and mercy to the prophets, the hopeful elect, the 144,000, and to the men and women of the 12 lost tribes of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Shalom. Back with another lesson. This will be a quick hit. I'll title this one, No City Shall Escape. No city shall escape. Call halal Yahawah, BASHAM YAHAWAHSHI, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawahshi, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawahshi, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawahshi. Call halal Yamla, Alahayanawa Yahawah, BASHAM YAHAWAHSHI. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BASHAM YAHAWAHSHI. And, no city is going to escape. And, as far as the devastation and the terror and the famine, you're not going to escape out of the Lord's hand. You see, and you see what's going on over there in Turkey. You see, the Lord is visiting that place. People are fearing for their life. They're fearing for their life right now. You got earthquakes and tremors coming all through the night. See? And then you see what's going on over there in Ukraine and Russia with the war. You got soldiers and people laid out on the ground, laid out as dung, as the Lord said would be. You see here, I was just watching the news and they were showing over there, the canal over there in Italy is drying up. All that little tourist spot where they sitting there and all that water's drying up. The Euphrates. You see here in Babylon, America, that they're derailing all these trains and they're putting chemicals on these trains and derailing them. And that's Esau with these false flags, and he's trying to poison the water and these farmlands with chemicals. So you can't the farmers can't plant crops and stuff in the ground because the soil's contaminated. We're headed for a famine. There's going to be no food. You see these preppers. They got these garages full of these garages full of food stored up for 2-3 years. None of that's going to save you. All the ammunition that you think that you're going to stock up and store, and, all these underground bunkers that you're building and going to the highest mountaintop trying to build some type of bug out place. None of that's going to save you. If you were not part of this elect, you're finished. You are through. You won't escape out of the Lord's hand. There's nowhere to go. This is why to Israel, because salvation is for Israel. You other nations, you're finished. But to you Israelites, to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, you got to get in line. Take a ticket and get your ass in line. And get in line with the Lord, man. Otherwise, you're going to fall victim. This word is all over the internet, flooded with lessons on the Lord, how to come back to him, stop doing your wickedness, telling you that you're his people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, telling you who your enemy is, warning you about Jacob's trouble, on what the Lord is finna do if you can't come back to him. See, let me get to the scriptures. Call halal Yahawah. I don't want to make this too long. We're going to go Jeremiah 25 and 31, and it reads, A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth. See, for the Lord hath a controversy with the nations. The Lord, the God of the Hebrew Israelites, the power of you so-called, the God of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, and to the Israelites scattered, the speckled birds that look like the other nations, that are in these other nations. The God of the Holy Bible has a controversy with you other nations. The so-called Chinese, the so-called white man, the so-called Arabic Persian, the so-called Hamite African, Japanese, Korean. You know, the Lord has a controversy with you nations, and he's gonna visit you through judgment for what you have done to the Lord's people, to what the world has done to the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. He has a controversy with you. He has a problem with you, and he's going to deal with you. You see what's going on over there in Turkey, and in Ukraine, and different in Iran, and different Palestine, and all over the world. It says, for the Lord hath a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith the Lord. And you other nations, you're not serving the Lord. All you other nations, you believe in false gods. You don't believe in the God of Israel, the God of the Hebrew Israelites, the power of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You don't believe in Yahawah BASHAM YAHAWAHSHI, because that's his name, Yahawah BASHAM YAHAWAHSHI. He is the Savior. That's what his name means. He is the Savior. You need the Savior. It says 32. Thus said the Lord of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation. And this is what we're witnessing, that evil is going from nation to nation. He's telling you, he just told you he had a controversy with the nations. This is what you got coming. This is what you got coming. This is why, all that praying, and he's not hearing none of your prayers, because you're not calling on the name Yahawah BASHAM YAHAWAHSHI, and you don't, and you definitely, you despise his people. You other nations, you despise the so-called Negro. You hate the Negro. You other nations, you despise the so-called Native American and Latinos. You despise the Lord's people. So the Lord is he's bringing evil. Evil shall go forth from nation to nation. And a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. Call halal Yahawah BASHAM YAHAWAHSHI. We're going to stay in Jeremiah. Jeremiah 48. Jeremiah 48:8, because ain't nobody gonna get away. The only ones who gonna get away, who gonna be delivered and saved out of this terrifying evil and destruction that the Lord is bringing on the world, is the elect out of his people. The elect. Even 2/3 of the Lord's people are gonna be put to death. Right along, they're gonna fall victim right along with the other nations, because they didn't believe, and they didn't hearken and come back to the Lord. It says Jeremiah 48:8, and it reads, and the spoiler shall come upon every city. You see, every city that it's ultimately here in Babylon, America, every city in this place, in this place, America, Babylon, the Lord told you, and the spoiler shall come upon every city. So there's going to be death, famine, and destruction. We're talking about earthquakes, tornadoes, floodings, hand-to-hand combat, insurrection, sedition amongst men, cannibalism. This is coming to every city here in America, Babylon. And the spoiler shall come upon every city, and no city shall escape. This is why in this time of tribulation, you better hope the Lord is with you. The valley also shall perish, and the plain shall be destroyed, as the Lord hath spoken. As the Lord hath spoken. Call Allah Yahweh Shah. Let me go I'll close out with this. First Thessalonians 5:1, and it reads, I'll close out with these. 5:1. But the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. 2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. You see, the Lord, and there's a day when the Lord's coming, but this also is a period of time too. This is why anytime there could be breaking news. This is why you got to get your soul right. This is why you got to get right with the Lord, Israel. Because he's using that as a metaphor. You don't know when somebody's going to break into your home. But this is how the Lord is going. He's bringing this destruction. You see over there in Turkey, and there's Israelites that are mingled among the heathen that look like the so-called heathen. There's some Israelites over there in Turkey. But the Lord telling you that's why earthquakes. You want to have that thawa, that mark from exemption, man. That you want to be protected. And in this time of terror that the Lord it's like a whirlwind that he's just bringing across the world, man. He's just the earthquakes, famine, tsunamis, I mean, all type of stuff. You want to mass shootings. You want to be protected. It says, for the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. This is why anytime breaking news, the country can go into lockdown, a pestilence can get loose, diseases, I mean, there's all type of stuff that's coming down the line. And then the famine of the word is approaching. It ain't too much more longer before this word gets taken down. Before this word gets removed off the internet, and destruction is coming. Matter of fact, I'll close out with this. It says, the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. You got to get right now. 3, I'll close out with this. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. And this is what Joe Biden and these government officials are saying. They're rubbing your back, giving you bread and circus. The Super Bowl just happened. They got the NBA All-Star game, and baseball is coming back. And I mean, all this stuff, these celebrity award shows and these distractions, and telling you everything's okay, but hell is knocking at the door for this place and around the world. It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Call Allah YAHAWAHSHI. Ain't nobody going to escape this except the elect. If you're not part of the elect, out of the 12 lost tribes of Israel, you can forget it. You can forget it. You can forget it. You're gonna fall a victim to judgment of the Lord, man. So the evil is going from nation to nation. So be prepared for even more worse earthquakes, even more worse floodings, the famine, the destruction, the pestilence. There's diseases that are coming that the Lord is finna release in these different cities and places around the world, man, and ultimately here in Babylon. And they're bringing that RFID, that C-hip, the chocolate chip, the mark, They're bringing that through chaos. Esau wants chaos, but this is all the Lord's plan. So, ain't nobody going to escape this except the elect. Shalom.